Hello, everyone. Today is July 24th. This is Obi-Wan. So the major updates is on the Japanese tariff agreement, 15% set for the entire like stuff, including cars. So their car, especially Toyota and Mazda. Mazda like takes about 70 to 75% of sales in the US. So their stock like jumped, like skyrocketed, like 17% yesterday. And that reflected on their ADR listing in the US stocks. Um, it also today, after that 17% raise, they also all still went up like 3.5% last time I checked. So it's going to be reflected on. So that's one of the strategies that you do is looking at those stock prices in Asia and Europe first, and then make a strategy in the U.S. stock market. Now the trend is already set up. The Europe also is expecting to finish the tariffs agreement with the 15%. It's still at the rumor stage, but I think that it's going to be around there anyway, and that's substantially lower than the 30% that were threatened by the Trump. So it really helped the European market yesterday and today as well. You can see from the FTSE, the British market, and the DAX, and the German market that they're still going up. So it's a good time to actually dive into some of the ETFs listed in the US with those European stocks and checking out investing on those as I don't know if it's going to be long term, but I'm already in it for the short term. So it's a good opportunity right now as I see the dollar is weakening, which means that the money is leaving the US and going into places like Japan and the Europe. Korea GDP also came out surprisingly higher than expected, so which means that export is still working. China also export data was good, so this means that these other countries that's importing a lot of goods are still having enough money to support the economy. The money realized, I mean, the funds realized that, and that they already are seems likely diving into the equity market. I see that there was some kinds of abruption in the Ripple and the Bitcoin, and I think that could be one of the reasons why, caused by the sudden movements in the currency market, especially in the Europe. The euro and the yen got strengthened against dollar, and especially Ripple has a lot of relationship with the banks in the Europe. And that was the potential for the Ripple to grow because they got accepted in the US with the Stablecoin Genius Act. So now they're thinking that they can expand their the works in the US banks. But here's the thing: if these banks in the European banks, their currency gets stronger against the stable, not the stable, the Ripple. Then Ripple may actually the value is the same, but their currency against it is like stronger, so their price may have got lowered. And I think another reason that could be, this is still a speculation. It's not a firm reason why it went down like 12% today. Is that there's a possibility that they got sold off as the cause because of the margin call on certain things, like you see like Krispy Kreme and Open Door, those like cheap stocks all suddenly went up like 50%. So all the maybe funds that shorted those stocks probably got margin calls, and you can see that like Mazda like shoot up like 70% all of a sudden after the tariffs announcement. Now that the markets are accepting that the tariffs threatening and uncertainty has kind of like um, subsided. So the money is going towards the long side, and probably the shorts got kind of squeezed, and they need to come up with some kinds of cash all of a sudden, and they maybe ended up getting rid of the things that they could get rid of much quicker, which is crypto. So I think that could be one of the reasons, but I don't know. It could be, there could be other stuff. But so far, you can see that after the Korean data and the Chinese data, also French PMI came out pretty okay too. After those, the oil is going up slightly, and also probably because the dollar got weakened. But the future for the Nasdaq and the SP 500 are pretty bright. So I'm expecting today's markets to be okay too. Now for the the chip market, like yesterday, the chip went down, like SOXL, SOXL went down a little bit because there was thing like with the Texas Instrument, their earning was kind of shit. So after those, like it affected the entire like market. But now that ASML is coming back up and the expectation on the sales on the chip side is up, is also on the Hynix. Hynix earning was great. So it's showing that there's still a big demand for the chips. So I think that the market, like Nasdaq, is going to be pretty good this today. At least it's going to be a good start. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so just look at those like markets in Asia, like Hong Kong, like Europe, and Japan, and see how the money's moving. And you can use that data for investing in the U.S. market. The Google earning was pretty good. The guidance was good. It shows the proof that the money in the AI is still there, and still a lot of demands for the AI chips and the AI sectors. Google went up, but on the other hand, Tesla went down after the earning, with the worrisome news that their sales may be down for like a couple more quarters. They're expecting the good robo taxi like earnings coming out like a late next year. So with all those delayed good news, and the possible like bad news for early on, caused the stock to go down like 6-7% after the market. But we'll see what happens. At least overall market is okay, and chip sector is okay. I knew chip sector will be okay after the TSMC data came out. Now the other thing is that I mentioned this before on the other news. The rare earth metal, that's the key things that they're dealing with Europe, with China. So Chinese premier or the trade negotiator mentioned about the rare earth thing again with the European unions. Europe and the US also, Navarro said it today that they're looking for alternative solution, the source for the rare earth and the China. So I mentioned this before. MP is the leading like a rare earth supplier in the U.S. Also, the TMC, which seems to be got invested by Korean Lithium Corporation, like 85 million, like about 2 weeks ago. So I think those are like should I say government focused companies. Like back in the day in the Biden time, you remember like EVs and all those like a charge point and all those, they got focused like with the government help. Now those are gone. The Trump administration is totally getting rid of those, and focusing on to more about protection of the U.S. assets. So I think this rare earth thing can be kind of like a medium term, long term investment. You may not have to worry so much about it if there's a buyer or at least a supporter from the government. So I think that it's still a good time to jump in, but you make all the choices. I'm just like telling you my opinions and the news and what I'm doing. I'm never recommending anything. Anyway, that's about it for today's news. We'll talk more about it later today. Bye. Talk to you later. Bye bye.